you need to have your rights guaranteed. And I think one thing that I would consider is to have a unanimous jury. I would have 12 jurors, and then if 12 jurors agree after having heard all the evidence, then I think we should institute the death penalty, and that person should be one of the first recipients of it.
We'll work backward. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill.
Sure. I'm opposed to the death penalty, Ernest. And the reason why I'm opposed to it is if you look at states like Illinois that took its death row cases and approximately 50% of the people on death row were exonerated. Now, when you have such a huge percentage of error in any instance, you have to err on the side of freedom. Because, as I said in the beginning, this country was founded on the principle of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And for the government to deny someone's life, I believe, is not in keeping with our basic principles.
Returning citizens who have served their time want to reintegrate into society after incarceration. These citizens will seek employment so that they can be independent from social welfare programs and return to living a normal and independent life. Though many face employment hardships because of the so-called box, which asks future employees about past crimes. Recently, the Obama administration has taken measures to ask for universities to stop asking for people's criminal records when applying to universities. Would you sponsor or support legislation to ban the box?
I do support the banning of the box, and for one good reason. By leaving that box on employment forms and applications for rent, you create a permanent underclass. You create a section of the economy, a section of the population that is unable to move forward. And if they are unable to move forward in employment or housing, then what happens? Recidivism. They are boxed out of the American dream. And again, this is not what this country was founded on. This country was not founded on a principle of which there are winners and losers. I find that kind of speech intolerable. We are one country, we are one people, and we need to be accepted universally for who we are after one has served his time. So yes, I believe in banning the box.
We're going to take a question now from social media. Considering that Florida's metro areas are seeing a steady increase in housing prices and rents, how will you work, to help grow affordable housing for residents, 80 to 120% of the average median income? How will you work to help create affordable housing opportunities in the metropolitan area here in Orlando while working in the center?
Ernest, I have a unique approach to this, and this is what I do for a living. I buy old houses, recycle them, remodel them, and then rent them. And the majority of the rents are around $750, $800, which are far below the market rate. Even though I could charge more, I don't. Because I think it's a fair rent. I think that people who work hard, especially people who are on minimum wage, need a place to stay. And I think it's it's the right thing to do. I think it's the Christian thing to do. And I would put pressure, not as a legislator, but as a landlord, on other landlords to bring their rents down. They don't need to make a killing. They could solve this problem in a month if they would just bring the rents down commensurate with what their tenants earn. Conversely, I am in full support of the move for a $15 an hour minimum wage. Since 1968, workers' productivity has increased and yet their pay has stayed the same. Right now, adjusted to $1968, the minimum wage would be $21 an hour. So to ask for $15 an hour is not being too greedy on the part of workers, it's being fair.
How would you define the role of a state senator in our communities beyond just voting on the Senate chamber floors?
I believe that the role of a Florida state senator is to lead. There are only 40 of them in the entire state. The role of leadership involves pulling, pushing, prodding, making things happen. This is what I've done all my life. I'm a person that makes things happen. I don't propose things and let them die. I know there's some people in Tallahassee that wish I would do that. But I don't. I keep pursuing things, file lawsuits where necessary, organize demonstrations, protest, bring public will and public knowledge as a light on a subject. District 10 suffers from high unemployment. I have a plan to turn this district into a solar energy hub for the state of Florida. This is right. We're at the intersection of I-4 and the Turnpike. This is why Walt Disney chose Orlando to locate Disney World. We have a high rate of unemployment. We have vocational training that could educate people. We have empty warehouses that could be turned into manufacturing facilities for solar panels. We have people who could work on installing these and maintaining these. That's how I see the role of the senator. Senator is to uplift the district and not watch over it. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. It's now time for a 1 minute closing.
Once again, thank you to the Young Democrats for putting this on. Governments derive their power from the consent of the governed. What we're seeing in Tallahassee is the exact opposite. We have King Rick, who's dictating policy on everything across the board. This is not how our government was designed. And I am so incensed at what is going on. I've left my quiet life as a rabble-rouser to enter this race. And it's not for gain, and I commit tonight to, if you do choose to elect me, to taking my salary every year and reinvesting it back into the community. Thank you. Once again, thank you to the Young Democrats for putting this on. Governments derive their power from the consent of the governed. What we're seeing in Tallahassee is the exact opposite. We have King Rick, who's dictating policy on everything across the board. This is not how our government was designed. And I am so incensed at what is going on. I've left my quiet life as a rabble-rouser to enter this race. And it's not for gain, and I commit tonight to, if you do choose to elect me, to taking my salary every year and reinvesting it back into the community. Thank you.